guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a little decor makeshift thing. I've been really into these wall hangings that I've been seeing online. A lot of them are inspired by wood and whatnot. Even though I think that the wood could look cool, I am really vibing the whole, I guess, like woven, that like rattan, the wickery kind of feeling, whether it's actually woven from material or string or whatever, or something along the lines of it. But I like the way that that all looks. So I decided to take it upon myself to actually try and make my own, which turned out really well. I made a lot of mistakes and I'm going to share those mistakes with you, even changing something out last minute. You guys are going to see that I originally made tassels on one of them a certain color and then I ended up switching them for a different color. You guys only see the end result, but nonetheless I did switch them out, and I think that I'm going to end up matching them for either side. So I want to have one on my side of the room and then one on the other side, so for like around our bed. So if our bed's right here in the middle, I want to have them both over here. I really just wanted to try and make my own, and when I was thinking about like what materials would I need, what could I use, or anything along the lines of that, I originally was inspired because I had these kind of like mats sort of thing that could be decorative, they could be like on your wall, they could be, I guess you could probably use them as like placemat. They're a little bit thick, but whatever, anything along the lines of that. But there are these cool circular mats that I had, and I had 4 of them, and in my head I was like, I could totally cut these in half and I could make the thing and I could do it and it'll be great, and a little over my head. But nonetheless, I went to a yarn place and then I got carried away there. I spent so much money on yarn because I just couldn't decide what colors I wanted. Not that I actually needed to spend a ton of money on yarn. I legitimately was like, I just can't decide what colors I want, so I bought a bunch. Okay, and then alternatively, like a few small things. So when I went and bought like beads and stuff at the same place, they were like $8 for this container, and then I ended up going to the dollar store actually today, and literally identical, the exact same container of beads was half the price at the dollar store, and I was like, sick, love that for me. So I bought them anyway because I was like, all the beads, who cares? Originally in this video, I was going to make like a rope ottoman, and I don't have enough rope. So when I kind of started, I realized I did not have enough rope or anything. I ran out of like tape and things. I ran out of stuff that I definitely needed to complete it, and I really wanted to get a video up because I was mostly so excited about doing this. So I hope that you guys enjoy. I'm thinking of making a chandelier. Yeah, I have seen a few. I don't know if I want to do a yarn one or a macrame one or what have you, but I've seen a couple. I just have like a few cool things that I'm really excited for, so I hope you're excited too. And yeah, let's get into it. Okay guys, so even though I did not film me cutting this, honestly, it's because it took so long. This material is just very thick. It took a bit of effort, so that's why. But nonetheless, this is what it looked like before. I do have another one here where I put some E600 glue. This would obviously be the front of it on this side. I just wanted to see if it would help with like keeping the ends together, and then I decided that I would just try one without gluing anything, and honestly it's not that bad. It'll probably be fine when I put the hot glue on as well. So I'm gonna do E600 across and I'm gonna put hot glue on, so it's just gonna get extra sturdy. Even though yarn is super light, so all I did was I just cut this so that the whole thing. Not 100% sure if this is the right amount of yarn for this, but I figured that was probably a good chunk to start with. And then I wanted it to be fairly long as well, so that's what we're going with here. Maybe I'll do this now. we go. Obviously this is the back. This will take a little bit of time to actually glue down, so this isn't this is not instantaneous or anything like that, so it just needs a little bit of time to dry down. I have probably had this one is dry, but it can take, you know, a few days for it to fully cure, but this one is dry and it's probably been sitting for about half an hour or so. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start laying these down and then I'm gonna hot glue over top, okay? Maybe recommend waiting like a little bit. However, it is still tacky, but it's starting to kind of solidify a bit here. And then just adding your glue as you're moving along, that might be better. Almost cut exactly the correct amount. So as you can see right here, some of the glue came down. Also, because this whole thing was a little bit difficult to cut, I think that if you were using a different type of mat, this would be a lot easier to get a perfectly straight line. I tried a few different options for cutting it straight, but because it is just a little bit ever so slightly off, and because that happened right there, I have all of these beads. And I kind of thought that maybe putting them across the bottom here would be kind of cute anyway, so I think we might do that. So I just need to decide what pattern I want to put them in. As you can see, putting this like just little edge piece is definitely helping with making it look a little bit straighter. So obviously if you did cut it perfectly straight, you would not have to do this by any means whatsoever. This is just like, you know, if you mess up, which is okay because this is our first time doing it and that can happen, right? Like you're just learning. So I think that that's a really good solution for sure. And then thinking, putting a couple of beads on here as well. I just don't want them to fall off, so I'm not sure if I'd rather put them up top more, like where I want to put them. So what I'm gonna do is I've kind of got an idea, but I feel like if I start from the center and I work my way out, that'll be easier. So I'm gonna take this bigger one, and it's only slightly bigger. I think I wanna do it maybe that color? What do we think? Let's play around. Okay, I have a couple of different options here. So this one is like a multicolored one, so it's kind of ombre and it kind of just keeps going back and forth. That could be really cool to make a tassel out of. Ooh, or have like a yellow, white. Ooh, I don't know what color. Hang on, I gotta consult. Okay guys, so I've decided to go with this one just because I think it goes with the color palette really nicely. So it's like similar enough, but still a little something. I'm gonna show you how to make a tassel. It's super easy. Okay guys, so there's multiple ways to do this, but what I am going to do is pretty easy. If you have like a piece of something that would be the size that you want, you could just wrap it around there. I'm just gonna wrap it around my fingers here. So we're just gonna have it like that. I'm just gonna cut it with my free hand. Just lay it right there. It doesn't need to be amazing in this scenario here. And I'm gonna take, let's do that. And I'm gonna pick this back up, pinch it, tie it. double knot it. I have like sticky fingers from the glue, so I'm just gonna trim that little piece there. There we go. Now we've got a tassel, and if the ends here, like this, are uneven, just kind of... Okay, so as you can see here, we've got our tassel. I put it through here, and then I'm just gonna take this little strand here. So I'm gonna tie it around here, and then I think I want the center one to be a bit longer. I want the bead up here more. And then the other ones are just gonna be a little bit shorter maybe? Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it so that this one's just a little bit longer. So then we're gonna tie another double knot around. There we go. And just trim that. Then I'm gonna take my little hot glue. And then I'm gonna put a bit of glue around here. And then I think I'm gonna take this very small piece right here, and I'm just gonna trim it ever so slightly, and I'm gonna glue it around that. And then we're good. Perfect. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of do more of this, and I think now it'll go a little bit faster, but here we go. And that is it for our little tassels. Part of me is contemplating adding a few extra pieces in here to braid a little bit. I think that could look kind of cool. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is gonna take a look here at the front, and thinking about it, I feel like adding a couple of extra pieces, maybe like on these two sides here, and then maybe one in the middle, and then I want to do braids down it. So we're gonna try that out and see how that goes. So what I've got is I've got 6 strands, okay? So 2, 2, and 2, and I'm just gonna braid them like I would braid hair. Just realized some of you might not know how to braid, so let me explain that real quick, okay? So I've got 2 strands here, 2 in the middle, 2 on the right, okay? So pick one, doesn't really matter. You can either go under or over. I'm just gonna wing it. I'm just gonna go over, so I'm gonna bring my left one, bring it over the middle ones. Now this left one is the middle. So I'm gonna take my right one, and I'm gonna bring it over the middle. That's all you do. Just keep bringing them over, what's this? The middle, okay? And if you want, you can just kind of like tighten them a little bit. So just give them a little pull and whatnot, but just keep on going. And you would do the exact same thing if you wanted to do under, same concept. So it's actually a bit easier now that I'm dangling over the edge, to be completely honest, so I don't have to worry about pulling them. They just flop the proper way. Bit of string here, same as if you were tying hair. That is a bit at the bottom, but I'm gonna trim anyway. And then I'm just gonna wrap this. just adds a little bit of texture here. So if you want the braid to be, I would say like thicker, like say you want like a really thick braid, I would just add, as I did before, add a few more to the back so that it's still thick and everything, and there's no like bald spots or anything like that. I think for the middle, that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna add maybe like 5 or 6 strings to the middle part. Okay guys, so you could either just nail through this into the wall, like a small nail, and it would probably be fine. However, this looks like crap. It really does. I'm sure I could figure out a much prettier way of like doing all this. I could even put something along the back, whatever. I'm sure I could find something that's a better hook. I just wanted to be able to put like a thumbtack in the wall and be able to hook it onto something. So I took a bit of yarn and the E6000, I think I've been calling it E600, but it's E6000, and I put that underneath and then I hot glued on top as well. I'm just gonna let that dry for a bit and then we're gonna see it when it's all done. Okay guys, so we're gonna get started on our next one. So I have the other half of the previous like circle that I cut, and I already measured out this. So this is the color that we're gonna be doing for the next one. So it's kind of a natural color. Like has little sort of like brown and gray flecks throughout it, and I really like it. I think it's a really, really pretty color, and I think it's gonna look really cool. So my whole mentality on this is that I want them to go together. Because I did the dark one with tassels, a couple beads, we did a little bit of braiding on it and everything, I wanted that one to sort of stand out and the other one just to accent it and just kind of create a nice background layering for it and everything. So I think with this one, I'm gonna keep it really basic, but I'm going to have it a little bit longer and then have the other one sort of sit a little bit in front of it. Okay, so once again, because this is the other side of the previous one, we know that cutting through this is really, really hard and it's not quite perfectly straight, plus it moves a little bit, like it has some give to it kinda. That's fine, not a big deal. We're just gonna do the same thing where we're gonna take some of these and place them across, and it's just gonna make it look a little bit straighter, and I just like the actual look of it, so that's what we're gonna do here. So I just put a little bit of hot glue right there. It's still hot. So I'm just gonna put another little blob here in the middle, very tiny. So now we're just gonna do that a couple more times, just along here until we're covered. That is what it will look like when it's all done. So, okay, so we're just gonna trim a little bit here. I didn't like the darker tassels and the way it contrasted, so I just switched them out for the same color as the one in the back. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you thought these things were cool, because like I think they're cool, and like I hope that you think they're cool too. So sick. Like it's so satisfying when something works out and you're just like, yeah, and then you look up how much it would have cost you to buy it from somewhere and you're like, I saved a lot of money, but also my blood, sweat, and tears went into this. So it's kind of your preference that way. I think that handmade things priced at certain prices are totally reasonable thinking about it. If you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, because you have to do that to know when I post videos. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye.